All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of 442. Here today is joining me Victor. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let him introduce himself and introduce what he's about for a little bit.
Sure. Hey, nice to be with you here today, Christian. My name is Victor Valencheck. I'm actually one of the leaders of the Penya here in Houston, Texas. We are an official Penya FC Barcelona. Our official name is Penya Blaugrana Houston, AICS, but you can find us, we pretty much go by the Houston Cules. That's us right here. This is our logo. And again, we are an official recognized supporter group for FC Barcelona right here in Houston. So again, we pretty much, the group of guys that I hang out with that we all started this thing, just around 2016 timeframe, became official in 2017. And now our group, which gets together week in and week out, at least pre-COVID-19, at Penny Whistle Pub and Revelry on Richmond. That's our home base locations. And, our meetings can be, if it's a 9 a.m. match, you might see a dozen or 20 of us together. But if it's a good 2 o'clock time frame on a Saturday or Sunday, we got 40 or 45 to 50 folks, joining us together, all supporting the Blaugrana. And again, when it comes time for the biggest match of the year, when we're talking about El Clasico, we're talking 200 folks over at the Revelry on Richmond, having a great time together. So, yeah, that's us.
That's a pretty good introduction. I'm not gonna lie. So you kind of covered some of the questions I had, but I'm gonna go ahead and dive deeper into them. My first question is going into this whole being an official Penya. What's the difference between just being like a regular supporter group and being like an official, card carrying member of like a
carrying member? That's good. That's good. And that's true. Actually, it's funny. I got one of those. I think I have one right here. I can actually pull up. There we go. So you want to talk about card carrying member. So this is an official Peñista card. These actually come directly from Barcelona. When you're an official Peñista, you're part of 160,000 members worldwide who are Peñistas, not socios, not official members of the club. That's a whole different thing, but we're talking Peñistas out there. So we're one of over 1,200 official groups. So what does it mean to be official versus just a group? I mean, on the surface, we're, everybody's all in this for the same reasons. We're all here to support our team. We're all get together at the bars, and and there's plenty of groups out there who are doing this. But being official, being recognized by the club, does offer some benefits across, from your connection to the club. I think people like to have that connection with them. There's benefits, if you travel to Barcelona, you get discounts. We can help you get discounts on match tickets. You get into certain, you get discounts on merchandise at the Bottega. Locally, there's different, benefits to that, but also it gets you have direct connection with the federation, connected to the confederation of the club when they come to town, which has been very fortunate in the United States. I don't know if you follow in the United States the summer tours. Barcelona's been on 3 summer tours. This will be the first one. They were supposed to come again, but it's not going to happen because of COVID. But 3 summer tours, but we get recognized and we get invited to be part of events on those summer tours. So I've been in New York when they played Juventus. I've been in Miami, Dallas when we played. I want to say that was, I think, Roma, was it? And when we played, I think it was Inter last year in Miami. So I've traveled, been with the club, and it's a great experience when they come to town. So again, there are some of those benefits. Obviously, we could tell you more about those, anybody who's interested. But yeah, it's nice. I mean, when you have a love for the club, the closer you can get to it you're gonna want to be as close as possible.
Have you been able to meet players in these gatherings, or when y'all go to games like that?
Yeah, actually, I have one of my favorite pictures was from the New York U.S. tour 3 summers ago. I had a picture with Belletti and Thierry Henry. And so I got a picture with the 2 of them. And so being part of that event was specifically the night before the match, and it was specifically put on by the New York City Penya there. And so being able to be part of that event was just super cool. So yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think it would be fair to let you know that I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but I talked to Juan, who runs the Real Madrid supporter group. And he was telling me about, his interaction with players. So it's pretty cool that even though you guys are so far away, these clubs, whenever they come into do these summer tours and stuff like that, they'll actually kind of have some time with you guys, even though, you guys are like on the other side of the world, basically. So I guess it kind of pays to be a member, right, of these groups.
Yeah, it's fun. We got a cool thing coming every year. There's basically the World Congress of all the Peñas get together at the beginning of, and usually in August timeframe. And with that, this year again, not happening in person in Barcelona, but they're doing it virtual. And with the virtual, we're all going to be able to be connected, and they're actually going to have players as well in that virtual. So just like we're doing here virtually, we're going to get a chance to see and have players talk to us virtually through the conference. So, there's some cool stuff.
That's neat. So before I get into all the actual team stuff, I wanted to ask you about how, what's your story? How did your love for soccer came about? And then eventually your love for Barcelona came about.
I'm born here in the United States. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm a big Cleveland fan. Actually, you can take a look. I've some of my stuff here. Actually, my Cleveland Indians artwork right there in the back. So I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. So for me, soccer was, unfortunately, growing up, it just was not part of the landscape of sports. There was the Browns, the Indians, and the Cavs. That's what you. So for me, I fell in love late in life. So it was my trip closer to right before 2010, going to Barcelona, and right before that World Cup. And I had that Spanish national team is really what turned me. That team was something else. Puyol and Iniesta and Xavi, and that team and at that time there was some 70% of the squad was from FC Barcelona. So, and at that time it was a lot easier to see international football than it was to see club football, back then. So for me, that's what my first experience was. So a little bit later in life than a lot of people, because I didn't grow up with it, but that's how I kind of fell in love with soccer and FC Barcelona.
That's interesting. It's interesting because, most people that are like hardcore fans like yourself, it's usually like a lifelong type of relationship with the sport. But it's interesting to see that you came from like a whole different background and you came out. Do you play?
No, I actually don't play. I've never played, and I think I'm probably too old because I'll break something. That's not good.
No, I'm sure there's leagues now for all the age groups. I don't know how old you are. You don't look that old, So I'm sure there's a league for you out there. So yeah, let me ask you about how did you start the Penya? You mentioned it a little bit, but I don't know if you want to go into details how who started it, what how many were you in the beginning and stuff like that.
We were just, when I came, to Houston in 2012, there was a group of guys hanging out, and the first thing I did was seek out where am I going to watch Barcelona? Like that, I just needed to find a bar, and I found it. And the guys saw me there after about a match, and they're like, "Come on, join us," and they just took me in. And these are some of the, these guys are awesome. They're still my friends today, part of the group. And they started this with, we were just a dozen of us, maybe 20 core of us, and we were like, wait a second, what? Everybody else has logos and they have their hats and their scarves like you have behind you, and we're like, we're a group. We get together every single match, every single weekend. And so we came up with our first logo, and we created a scarf, and it just kind of took off from there.
That's cool. That's a cool story. Like I was saying, I had a conversation with Paul, who he runs super hard name, the Wonders, the Wolves, the Wolverhampton Wonders.
Oh, Wolverhampton. Yeah, the Wolves.
Super long name, but he, he's from England, and he came obviously to the U.S. and kind of had the same, a similar story, trying to connect with, people that were like-minded when it comes to the fan of the team, and how they started up small, and they ended up creating a group, and now it's like a family and stuff like that. But I also saw that you guys do some like charity work and stuff like that. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Definitely. I mean, one big part of of the FC Barcelona kind of and that's one of the things that you get from when you're connected to the club at the high level. What they preach all the time is all about solidarity and charity and community service and really making a difference in the community that you're there. It's important to them with the Barca Foundation. It's important to them in all they do, and they want that to also be the same. They want us to have that same impact, and that's absolutely what our group wants to do as well. Our board has sought out, and one of our biggest ones that we've done 3 years in a row now is that we sponsor youngsters to go to camp, summer camp, and actually the Barca Academy, in conjunction with ISL in the United States, puts on camps all over the summer. Very cool. They get a week-long camp, and the kids get a chance to learn the Barca way of football, right? And so this is an amazing opportunity, and we look for youngsters who are passionate about the sport, maybe don't have quite the opportunity to do quite this type of experience on their own. And we sponsored 2 youngsters our first year, 3 youngsters last year, and this year we're sponsoring 4. So they're getting ready to go. They'll be at Houston Sports Park starting June 29th. They'll be down there. And so we got 4 youngsters. They're just, I think, right close to freshman high school age. And again, we're excited for them to have that great experience. So we've done that. And just recently, we just did one of our board members came up with a great idea. Rosemary said, hey, why don't we what can we do to give back to our healthcare workers who are putting themselves in harm's way, and we got it easy, right? And so we did a food for the front line, raised some money, and in conjunction with helping our bar out, they packaged up and we gave them the food, money, and we packaged up 50 meals, and 50 meals went out to Methodist Hospital's central supply chain. Again, a part of the hospital that may not be getting a lot of recognition, and we wanted to help them out a little bit and do our part. So again, this is some of the things we want to get involved with, and we're always looking to do more.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. That, you don't see a lot of supporter groups. I mean, I don't know if they do or not, but, I'm talking out of my behind here. But, sometimes you don't see a lot of sporting groups, doing stuff for the community and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool that you guys do that for the city of Houston, And also, at the same time, you elevate the sport, by taking these youngsters to camp and stuff like that. So, and who knows, you might see your next Barcelona star in one of them, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we got some of the kids. One of the youngsters from last year, he got selected and tapped to go up to Barcelona to participate in an additional camp for the summer, which was super cool that he got selected. So we're really pumped up about that.
Helping to create stars, I see. That's good. So now let's get to more of the fun stuff, more of the actual team stuff. Let me just get the two, I guess, easy questions out of the way, and then we'll get into the harder stuff. So there has been talk about Lautaro Martinez from Inter possibly going into Barcelona. Then I also talked to Juan because I heard that the Real Madrid was trying to, pitch in their name also. But what do you think about that move if it comes about, the whole Lautaro Martinez?
I don't think there's I don't know any Barca fan or anybody who wouldn't be happy with that move to the club. I mean, if you asked everybody the same question a year ago when they talked about Griezmann coming to the club, people would be like, you'd get a split. You get a lot of split decisions, not really certain, how he, is he going to fit in? Where does he fit? And people still have that question today to some degree. But with Lautaro Martinez, there's no question that he would be an excellent fit. We all know that Suarez's time is passing, and we need a true number 9 replacement. Simple, done, period. It has to happen. And so I think if it's not him, I don't know another true number 9 to replace Suarez. I just don't know. I don't know where he exists right now and who we want, but I can tell you there's probably not a Barca fan out there. The only Barca fans that would be against it would be because financially, how do we pull it off? That's the big
Yes, especially in those times that money seems to be kind of running low for everybody. I saw that Barcelona, the players were cutting their own salaries to be able to keep, the club afloat and, help the other people, around them in the club. So yeah, money, I saw that the number for him was over 100 million.
Yeah. So I think it'll happen. I just, I try not to let the newspapers, the Spanish papers dictate how I feel about, when it comes to transfers. So yeah,
That's the gossip of Spain, right? Soccer players and stuff like that.
yeah.
That's their actual celebrity gossip over there. So being an Argentinian myself, and you guys probably are the team that had the best Argentinians in like history of Argentinian players to go through and wear the Azulgrana for you guys. Let me just give you some names, which are like probably the 3 top in my book of Argentinians, and you just tell me what you think of them. And some of them might be old, but obviously we'll start with Messi, which is the newest guy out here.
Messi, has been around for the era that I've followed football, and his period has brought more joy to myself, and probably I speak for millions. It's hard to put in words the amount of joy this man has brought to people's lives. So yeah.
And here, let me ask you a hard question about Messi. Like I said, being an Argentinian, why, in your personal opinion, why do you think it's so easy for Messi to win so many championships with Barcelona, but it's so hard for him to win a cup with Argentina?
I think it's just it's a different competition. It's this marathon versus the short competitions where it could be the difference of 7 games to get to win a cup versus dealing with how 50 some matches and in 3 different competitions or 60 matches. It's just it's a long haul. Again, the long haul versus the short race. So how you perform in that moment, it's such a sliver of time that these competitions from an international level.
That's a good answer. I've never heard that before. That's a good perspective. I always heard the whole the team around him, when he was with Iniesta and Xavi, of course, it was a lot easier with, he played with Ronaldinho and the whole stuff like that. And in Argentina, he doesn't really get that help that he really needs. But that's a good answer. I've never heard that one. What about Maradona? You guys had Maradona for a while too.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, wasn't following back then, but I did get a chance to watch that documentary on him. And I know, from that documentary, it was a very short-lived time at Barcelona, and it was, it didn't quite, go off as swimmingly as they would have liked, as far as him being there. So I think that, I think it was amazing that they signed him at the time. But from what I saw there, between whether it was his, inability or choosing to not integrate into the Catalan culture and the Spanish culture when he was there, there's a sense from that documentary that he kind of segregated himself and didn't really integrate to just ultimately, what was the injury, right? Didn't he have like a major injury during this? Like,
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and so you had the injury, and so he's not making a big impact because he's not on the pitch to do so. Really cool documentary. I learned a ton out of that.
Which documentary is that?
It's called Maradona. I think you can watch it. I don't know, Amazon, Netflix, or one of them.
One of those.
So, but yeah, I had a chance to listen to the podcast Grant Wall did with the director, and they talked about how he stumbled upon like all this footage, all these reels in Italy and down in Naples, where he was just tons of footage that had just been sitting there in a warehouse or something, and nobody was doing anything with it. And they created this documentary, and Maradona really wasn't part of it at all. He didn't even watch it he didn't watch the release of it. It came out, but it's super insightful, man.
Interesting. And then the third one is more like a personal one because he's my favorite player ever. Is Riquelme. I don't know if you know much about him, but basically we'll skip him, and because he was actually replaced by Ronaldinho, so Riquelme was like the number 10 back in the early 2000s because he came from Boca. That's Boca Juniors is my favorite team. That's what I grew up with, and he was our TAM, and he was taken by Barcelona to Spain after we beat Real Madrid in the Club World Cup. That's when Barcelona took him away from us, basically. And then he was replaced by Ronaldinho. So we'll replace the question from Riquelme to Ronaldinho. What does Ronaldinho mean to you? Maybe you can into them.
I mean, watching the classic matches of Ronaldinho is just amazing. I just wish I was watching football at that time. I just would, and unfortunately, it was amazing. I think when I go back and watch those footage, I watch Neymar and I go, I could see the Brazilian similarities to the style of football. And so I make those comparisons now that I've watched enough Ronaldinho tape. But yeah, he is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the goats, one of the goats. And now let's get to let me just ask you one little question outside of this, and then we'll get with the hard question. The hard question is going to be I'll give it to you now so you can have it in the back of your head. But if you had to pick a competition, 5v5, and you have to pick 5 players, all-time Barcelona, who would you pick? 5 players. And you need a goalie. So, you need a goalie and then 4 field players. But keep that on the back of your head. But I saw that you guys, a lot of members of the group of the Penya, you guys travel a lot, and they're always with their scarves and stuff like that. I'm sure you have traveled. Well, you said you have in the U.S., but what has been like the craziest place that you have traveled that you encountered like a Barcelona fan, or like you were showing off your colors and you had an interaction? You're like, whoa, that's weird.
I mean, you find it's interesting. You'll meet people. You meet people everywhere. If you wear the badge somewhere, you're going to run into people. First off, going back to the example, our members, we got scarves like yours. We made like 3 batches of scarves over the years. So again, our members, when they travel, we want them, take a picture. They're sitting on the beach, they're in the mountains, they're wherever it might be when they're on vacation. We want them to take that picture and send it back to us, and we want to post that. I mean, that to us is amazing that people show their pride and they want to do that no matter where they are. So that's very, very cool. I think I'm trying to think for myself personally, wearing the scarf and having the scarf on is awesome, because I actually went and traveled to Spain, and I was by myself in Vitoria, which is where Alavés is, and closer to Bilbao. And I got the chance to sit in the Barca away section there, where there's like 30 Barca fans in the little away section. And I've got my scarf, and they're looking at the scarf, and then people look at you and they're like, "You're from Houston? Like Houston, Texas?" Like they're just like amazed that I'm in Spain in this little town of Vitoria. I'm at the match, and they see the scarf, and I was at the Camp Nou, and someone stopped me and literally stopped me and tugged on me because he saw my scarf, and he was wearing like a Houston Rockets like lanyard or something. Like it was so obscure and weird to see, but he was so excited that I had a scarf from Houston. So
that's cool. That's cool. That Houston connection all over the world. And also maybe a little hard question. Have you ever considered having, I forgot to ask Juan this question, but have you ever considered having like a mixed watch party for a Clásico? Like have your guys and their guys and like close but not together?
Close but not. You mean like social distancing?
Kind
of. We social distance all the time, so it's no. I kid. Actually, interestingly enough, working with other supporter groups, we actually did a joint Champions League watch party with the Home and the Weg with the Manchester United group that over at King's Court. We did that this season. And so we went over there first to King's Court, and again, they embraced us and they welcomed us and had us over there. And then we had a chance to have them over, and they joined us over at Revelry on Richmond and for the second leg. So that was really cool. So yeah, I mean, we did that. Now, do we want to do that with Real Madrid?
Probably not.
I don't see it happening. Tensions are just a little too high for that match to be in the same venue. So
all right, hey, that's fair. That's fair. At least you're doing your part by having Manchester United fans.
Yeah.
That's good enough. That's good enough. All right, so let's go to that 5v5. Do you have any names?
Oh man, I mean in 5v5, and you got to have a goalie. Goalie's one like plus goalie 5+1 or.
We can do it however you want. If you want to.
I mean, goalie, I would say Victor Valdez, during his time, definitely as a goalie. I would say in defense, definitely Puyol. There's no question I'm going to put Puyol in there. Oh, goodness.
It's hard, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking probably Messi and Ronaldinho. Oh, man. Jeez, 2, 3. I picked 3. I probably would pick. I'd still pick PK. I think PK is something else, and maybe in the middle somewhere. I mean, Xavi, you got it.
Okay.
So I mean that's 5. So
yeah. I mean that's a great team. Valdez obviously goalie, Pujol and Piqué in the back, of course. And then you have Xavi holding down the middle. And Ronaldinho and Messi to.
I mean, I hear Deco is amazing in the middle too, so I don't know, but you got more experience watching and knowing. Xavi's no question.
Sure, with this team, I'll go to war with any other team. So you got a good team there. All right, and then to finish it off, I'm gonna do something that I've been doing with the other guys. Basically, I'm gonna give you the names of all the teams that you guys are playing. Or the games that are coming up, and you gonna give me a result. So how do you think the games are going to turn out? So you can be as crazy as you can or as conservative as you want. So I'll give you the team, and then you just shout out how much you think you're.
How much? All right, interesting.
Just to let you know, Juan had Real Madrid winning every game. So that means you have to win every game to stay on top.
All right. Go ahead. Shoot.
All right. First game. Mallorca.
Mallorca is away. It's a weird away. It's not like they have their, I don't know if necessarily anyone has their advantage there, but I think that's a 2-0. I mean, 0-2. We're going to win that 0-2.
Gotcha. So you have Leganes.
Leganes. All right. So Leganes is, I'm just reminding myself of the table here, struggling at the bottom of the table. And we probably were the ones that helped cripple them a little bit because we stole Martin Braithwaite with our bye at the end because of our loss to Dembele. And the league let us go out and buy their top striker. And so they are hurting. So I think are we home for that one? I think we're home for that, right?
I believe so. Let me pull it up too. Table Barcelona.
Yeah, we're home. We're home, and it's Liga. That's maybe 3. I'd say 3-0.
3-0. All right. And then the next game would be probably one of the hardest ones coming back because y'all have Sevilla, which they just won, so they got a little bit closer.
Yeah, they look good today, but not as bad as Betis looked today. I just got done watching that. That's why I was running late here. Betis, unfortunately, I don't know why they didn't start Joaquim. I have no idea. But Sevilla looked good. Munir, former Barca, he looked great, man. He looked great out there. So I would say it's going to be it's going to be probably one of the toughest ones we have left on there. And if I hate to say a 1-1 on a tie, but we can't afford a 1-1, Yeah, so I'm going to say 1-2.
All right. You have Athletic next, and you would be at home.
So you're talking about Bilbao. So
yeah,
this is a team that They punched us in the first match of the season with that first loss away to kick off the entire La Liga season. We were the first game and away at San Mamés, and that's a horrible scenario, and we lost. But they, unfortunately, Arderiz basically he's done. He's done for his career. He had to go into surgery, and again, they don't have that weapon to come back at. So and we're home. I think we can pull off probably a 2-1.
2-1. All right, then you have Celta Vigo.
Celta's struggling in the relegation zone. They've shown moments, but this has been a tough year for them. And I think even if we're going to we have to go to Vigo. All right, I mean that's a tough one. I still say it's 0-1.
And then you have another tough one with Atletico Madrid.
Oh yeah, so we're home and we host. So we got another tough one there. They're going to be trying to, fight to get themselves into a Champions League position in the remaining games. So I still think we're going to win, and I think 1-0.
1-0 win. And then to keep the streak of tough games, you have Villarreal.
Villarreal is, just remind me where they are in this table here.
8 right now.
They're 8th. Villarreal is kind of, you never know what's going to happen, with them. You got Santi Cazorla. Santi is amazing. Like, he gets better with age, even after a major injury and setback. So away, I'm still going 1-2.
All right, then you come to the derby against Espanyol.
Oh, we're gonna bury them. It's gonna be, and we're home. It's 4-0.
That would be like the last nail in the coffin for them. Valladolid.
Okay, Valladolid is.
They're also towards the bottom over there.
Yeah. They're going to be thinking they're safe. They're not going to – are we home or away on that? Probably we're probably away on that one.
Yeah, you're away.
So I'm trying to figure out how many games are left by that time. There's third from last game.
Yep.
That's going to be away. Another is 0-1. Maybe 0-2, 0-2.
And then you have Osasuna at home.
Osasuna at home. I mean, they're a pain in the butt. They can be a pain in the butt. We're going to be home, so I'm going 3-1. 3-1.
And then to finish it off, and probably if Real Madrid keeps winning their games and you guys keep winning your game, this would be the deciding game to crown yourself against Alaves.
Alaves.
Be away.
At the Mendiza Rosa Stadium. You're gonna have to go with the. I'm gonna say 1-3 with a win.
All right. Cool. And then so that's it, right? Yeah, that's everything. When do you think? How many weeks are going to be left before you? Like, you think you'll crown yourself as champion before the end of the season? Or do you think you're going to fight it out to the end with Real Madrid?
To definitely down to, like, the second last. I think maybe it might be decided in the second last match of the season. But, yeah, that's going to come down to that.
It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's exciting, though. I mean, the one thing is super exciting for anybody who's a La Liga. I mean, a fan. I mean, if people love the pace of World Cup, then this is it, man. This is World Cup type football right here. There's matches today. There's matches tomorrow. Where we play on Saturday. There's matches on Sunday. Boom, boom, boom. There's matches. Me and my trusty iPad I'm going to be burning this iPad up watching matches every single day. So I think this is super exciting. I love that we're doing it at this pace, the competition. And so, yeah, it's good stuff.
All right, man. So yeah, that's basically everything I had. That's all the questions I had for you. And then just to finish off, if you want to just go ahead and give out social media either for yourself or for
Yeah.
the Penya.
No, definitely. And you can find us at Houston Cules. That's Houston, CULES.com. Just go to our website, and in our website in the upper corner, you can find all the social media links there to our Facebook group, our Instagram, our Twitter feed, our website. We keep up to date. You can find out all about becoming a member, how to become a member. This hat is actually the 2020 membership hat right here. So again, if you're interested in becoming a member, you get this hat. And you also get your membership card and some other stuff. If you want to find out about our sponsorships and what we're doing there, again, just go to the HoustonCules.com and check that out. So yeah, I mean that's us. You can find us once things kind of resume. We decided we want to be cautious right now that we are currently just not getting together at the bar at this time. We're going to reevaluate things in the next 3 or 4 weeks, see how things are going with the numbers in Houston. And if the numbers start spiking again, I think we'll be glad we didn't decide to get together as a group early, even though we can, right? We could, but we're going to be cautious right now and then see how that goes. In the meantime, we're going to do some virtual watch parties. So again, our members out there can join us for that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. Also, if everybody wants to follow the YouTube channel or also the podcast is actually under Dynamo Theory podcast network, and the YouTube is just 442. You can find that on YouTube or Instagram as well. And I try to stay as active as I can. And also maybe in the future, I don't know how many jerseys do you own?
Oh my.
You have a bunch?
I have a bunch.
Yeah,
I have at least, there's got to be 30 in there probably.
Nice. So I'm trying to do these little YouTube series called the Kit series where I go to people's houses and basically they show me their collection of jerseys, and then they tell me the stories behind them. So maybe hopefully in the near future, whenever we can or is possible, maybe I can come over and you can show off your collection.
Either that, or if you want a video, I could lay them out, do a video for you, and submit that for you. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we can do another Zoom call, and then you can show them off there.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and follow here Victor and on the Houston Cules for more information, and obviously all the watch parties and stuff like that to keep in touch with the Barcelona, and good luck to you.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate the opportunity, and Visca Barca. All right, guys.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.